Yeah, that's better. Da. Hello, Ish. Nice. Good to have you. Good to keep you. There we go. Good to have you. Good to keep you. Yeah. Hello. How is everybody doing? How's? Oh, sorry. I meant to shut Thunderbird already, but I didn't. Um, what a mess. Hello. How is everybody doing? How's things? How's life? How's universe? How's your week been? Hello. I don't really know why. Wait, is that? Is it because I'm on live top chat and not live? No, I don't know where this comment came from because it's not in my like YouTube like live stream feed. Anyway, hello. How is everybody doing? How's things? How's life? How's you guys? Oh, it's from Twitch chat and it just didn't show up in my Twitch chat window. Love that. Okay, cool. Um, yeah. Hello. How's everybody doing? You're on leave this week. Nice. Done anything nice? It may have posted just before the stream. That might be it, because the Twitch chat window in Streamlabs OBS doesn't show up until I've started streaming, if I remember rightly. I think. Maybe I'm making that up. Who knows? I'm going mad. Going implies I haven't already gone mad. I've gone mad. I've been playing with my Deke most of the week. Nice. Who doesn't love playing with their Deke? Big black cork. Um, Only half done. So many rusty nails. Need to get the joists too. Fair. I'm going to be building some decking at some point at the back. Just a little platform, but yeah. I'll get to it eventually. Also, thank you to Luca, who I guess currently isn't here, for the screenshot in the Discord with my engine, like the engine that sat out there, in some verified channel's YouTube short, which is hilarious. Um, is so your solar on a patio? Solar is at the end of the garden. One of them is one panel is on my terrible shed that I'm gonna get rid of and replace. I'm also gonna build that, and one of them is all. Two of them are on a canopy type thing. Hello, App. Hello, Simon. How you guys doing? How's things? Good to have you. Um, Hello. How's things? I should really keep up with the Discord better. Yeah. How's everybody's week been? What's everybody about to? Freezing damn Melbourne winters? Fair. We've had a little bit of a reprieve, in temperature, but it's still pretty warm. Although it's only 18 degrees in the garden, so it's not horrendous. That one. Yeah. I mean, I do prefer cold to warm, so that's fine by me. You might want to ask the rest of my countrymen, men and women, beans. Because I am not everyone, funnily enough. I don't think I had this assembled last week. Uh, as part of my testing tool madness, I this is the prototype that I've been working with to test like key switches and mice and stuff like that. The problem was that that pressure sensitive resistor, as you push on it, it changes its resistance across those two wires. Problem is they kind of suck for actual pressure sensing. I kind of knew that. Everyone said, like everyone on the internet said, don't do it. But you know, you got to make the same mistakes as everybody, but on your own. So here I am. The correct thing to do is use a load cell. I tried a little round one, terrible. So I've come up with this, which is actually assembled now. So there's a pin in there. This goes on the end of one of these little linear actuators. It just slots in if the pin wasn't there. It's a beautiful fit. We have a bar load cell, which is super duper tiny and is only rated for 100 grams. And we have a plate, which the actual plate will have a little dimple on it to be able to get into switches nicely. This one is for calibration purposes with my stand of little weights that go on there. And basically, as you push down here, the bar moves ever so slightly, and this little circuit board can detect that. And putting this on my really accurate scales, and then zeroing out the scales with this on it, whatever weights I put on this thing reports the exact same weight to a 100th of a gram as the scales, which I am so happy about. So yeah, I've made some progress. What I worked out is that if you bend these too far, the metal can deform and then you don't get an accurate reading anymore. So what I've done is printed, in fact, I have one of them, but it's the wrong size. I basically printed a new version of the bottom piece, but with an extra little shelf on it that goes, can I hold this right? Kind of like that. So as you push this down, there's a hard stop below it so that it can't, you know, go too far. This is too high, so I've printed another one. It's on the printer right now. That should hopefully be a better height for that. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. It works. Works as intended, which is always nice. But if you've seen how many things that I've printed, tried, and then failed at, well, you know why you would understand why R&D costs much money, time, and effort. And luckily, I don't pay myself for these, you know, like the hours that I spend building these. So, yeah. Unfortunately, the sale of my shop fell through as they couldn't get financing. Well, that's unfortunate. Any other chance of selling it to someone else anytime soon? Any other buyers who are unlucky? Twitch ad break 7 minutes in would be nice if they fed the money back. I mean, yeah. Have I ever had a Twitch payout? I think I had one Twitch payout in the however many years I've been doing this. Admittedly, you know, 1 to 2 viewers for an hour a week. Not really a big payout, but still. Looks like the one you find in precision scales. It is, basically. Like, inside here is something very similar to that. It's rated for a bit higher. Does this one say actually on it what it's rated to? No. I think this is rated for about a kilo. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, you have to put it down to 0. It's so precise that just like moving it would yeah, it's oh no, it's about 300 grams it's rated for. Because that's all it'll measure before it errors out. So yeah, there you go. Quick question, putting together my first custom build, a 17950X and an X670 motherboard, looking at GPUs, and as you can all appreciate, GPU prices are nuts, yes. Not bothered about going back a generation. Fair enough. So can I just clarify, is it purely for gaming? Or do you do any other stuff? Hello John! I do nice things. It is Thursday already. Glad to see you look, dare I say it, better. Yes and no. Mostly no. I hide the pain, Harold. Um, yeah, I'm alive. That's fine. Gaming, 3D modeling, got you. My initial thought, or my before we get to the GPUs, perhaps a slight word on our Lord and Savior X3D. If you are gaming, then I don't know what the performance delta between like a 9800 or even 7800, but ideally 9800 X3D and a 7950X is, but for gaming, it's quite a lot of extra performance. So even better. Fair enough. Well then, you're gonna have a great time with what I assume is a free CPU. So in that case, yeah, GPU prices suck. It kind of depends what your budget is, really, because the the best price to performance, like there's a difference between the absolute best price to performance, which is basically the lowest, like the cheapest card you can get that can still do decent gaming. So a 60 class card, and something that is still a very good value, but not necessarily the best value for money. Looking at around 7 to 900 max. Got ya. Um, it's been a little while. Um, when you say go back a generation, are you including used? I mean, a 7900 XTX is a good shout for gaming. Generally speaking, AMD doesn't have as much software support for hardware acceleration in things like 3D modeling. So double check, depending on what modeling application you use, what support that card has, and if there are any benchmarks or performance figures or anything, have a look. For gaming, it's a great card. You have all of the VRAM in the world, which I'm sure Steve from Hardware Unboxed will be very happy about. Uh, um, but yeah, don't Nvidia keep coming up with new shiny bullcrap to justify 2x price cards like Hairworks or AI or fake frames or God rays? Yeah, pretty much. um, yeah, yeah. Uh, Also, they donate cards to studios so they can make better optimized games for their cards. That tracks. Yeah, yeah, that tracks. Um, I think there's a lot of like what you might call smart plays in terms of getting like giving out free stuff to benefit yourself in the long run. Giving cards to studios. Like I know that well, I have to assume anyway that for a while, especially when AMD was pushing uh the earlier Threadrippers, I wouldn't be very surprised to find out that they were just giving Threadripper systems to the VFX houses and studios that were doing. I think it was like Terminator Genesis. They did a whole like big PR push about um, using Threadripper servers or a workstation, sorry, um, to do like basically all of the VFX in the film. Um, so yeah, sorry, I'm just cleaning my water bottle lid like straw because it's nasty. Um, a 40 series card second hand would be great. That's kind of where I was going with that. I mean, I don't know what the price of like a 90 class card is used right now, like 4090. But yeah. Woo, alive, indeed. I was looking at a 4080, but I thought the VRAM was a bit poor for the price. I don't blame you. Yeah, yeah. Is it 8 or 12 gig? Either way, or is it 60? Either way, it's kind of depressing for how much money it is, so yeah. I'm super cheap, so I would go for something from CEX and stress test it in case it's a dud. Uh, if I remember correctly, Chris said they have got a good warranty. So I have bought a card from CEX. I made a video about it. Mm. Um, yes, they have a pretty good warranty. They're pretty good at honoring it as well. Um, stress testing it is a very good idea. Trust me. Um, and yeah, if you're gonna get a used card, CEX is actually a very good place to look because of that warranty. Is it 2 or 5 years? It's kind of ridiculous, whatever it is. 5 year, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, which is crazy. And like I said, I bought actually bought a 3090 from CEX um start of this year, earlier this year, I think. Yeah, it was. And basically initially like it was overheating. So I repasted it, but I also had a faulty power supply connector or pin. So it was crashing for that reason as well. I returned it because it was a lot of power consumption, and like I didn't really need all that extra power, and I need my machine to be as stable as possible. So I care more about the stability than I do about the outright power and whatnot. So I got a 4060 Ti for less money instead. Um, but I did also just take it back to my like I bought it online and then took it back to my local store. And they gave me a refund in a day or two at most. So yeah. They also just put it straight back on sale, which was funny. After I'd repasted it, mind you. Hello, B. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry that I forgot that time zones are a thing that one time. I remember the SSD one, and after that, I got a couple, missed that deal, and I'm happy with them. Nice. They might have a potato though, so I'm expecting anything to be DOA. Yeah, that's fair enough. Like, I can guarantee you that CEX does not thoroughly test the equipment before they list it for sale. I know that because the GPU that I bought was instantly overheating and thermal throttling the second that I plugged it in. So to say that they tested it, like maybe they like plugged it in and turned it on, but they definitely didn't like run Furmark for 30 minutes and check the temperatures, you know? They just didn't. So, yeah. There we go. Did I miss something? No? Good. Wonderful. Oh, iPads to schools for a heavy discount to hook kids when they're impressionable? Yes. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't think Chromebooks did the same, like, had the same effect. Like, I don't think, you know, the kids that had Chromebooks at school are rushing for Chromebooks. Now they're, you know, teens and adults, which I find funny. Chromebooks were always a kind of weird proposition. Like I totally understand the interest for one. I understand the like why you might like them, but also I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Oh yeah, not that he's here, but Chris sent me an SSD that he bought from Temu, TEMU, that. Um, and what drew me to it was that it's from a name brand. It's from Lexar. Lexar make drives. Like their parent company, Longsys, makes NAND flash. Legit company. They've even sponsored a video on the channel like it's probably 4 years ago now, but they did. Launching their NM800 drive, I think. Talking about direct storage. Might have been like 2 or 3 years ago. Anyway, and the what you call it? Oh, if I only had a brain. But this Temu special, it's quite dreadful. It doesn't exist according to Lexar's website, which is really interesting. And the only like Western accounts of it I can find are in the Tech Power Up SSD database. So yeah, I've just about finished writing the script for that, so you'll see that in a week or two. But yeah, it's interesting. Well, as far as I'm aware, this is legit. Like, the one that I have is listed on Tech Power Ups database with the same specs and all that jazz. It's a legit controller, it's legit NAND. What I think this is a China only drive that has found a pallet of them have found their way onto Temu, and yeah, they're being sold worldwide. I think there's like, it was either 60 or 600 sold. I can't remember. 698 sold apparently. But what the absolutely crazy thing is that it is not cheap. It's £64 for a 1 terabyte drive, which is more expensive than like Crucial's P3 Plus and P310. Like, there were a whole bunch of Gen 4 drives. Bear in mind, this is meant to be Gen 4, like 1 terabyte drives that are cheaper than that. It only does Gen 3 speeds worth of writes. Like, I do not understand why you would buy one of those. But also, it seems like I'm going to be the only Western source for data on it, so that'll be interesting. Hello, Tammy. How you doing? How's things? You walked into me being utterly confused at an SSD that a viewer sent in for me to review that he bought from Temu, whatever you call it, that doesn't exist here in the West. Thank God for a capacitive mute button on the mic. It is a China special, but it's from a name brand. It's from Lexar. It has their parent company Longsys's NAND on it. So yeah, that's what makes it kind of interesting. So yeah. Oh. What else have I done this week? What did I... Oh, the smart ring! The fact that it's not on my hand right now probably tells you quite a lot about what I think about it. For those that missed it, I was reviewing a... What'd you call it? Smart ring. What's it like watching a, like, incapacitated streamer do a chat session? Oh dear. Where was I? I was reviewing a smart ring that is kind of like a Fitbit but built into a ring. And if you've ever tried a Fitbit, do you still wear it? Because if the answer is no, which is the correct answer, you don't need this. Because the reason that people didn't wear, like, didn't use Fitbits wasn't because it was too cumbersome to wear a bracelet, or that you had to charge it once a month for the original ones. No, it wasn't any of that. It was you don't you don't need it. You don't need the data it provides, and it's just more kind of hassle. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. It's also just massive and really uncomfortable and sensorily horrible. China actually has a good reputation for NAND flash manufacturing now. Saw an Asianometry video about it, which is his name. No, that's fair. I also watch Asianometry. Fantastic channel. Terrific. Um, I haven't watched that one though. I have been a little busy. My mate has a Fitbit. It tells the time well. Well, that just tells you a story, doesn't it? But yes, China is improving its fabrication processes, technologies, capacity, all of those words and more. For sure. Some of the counterfeit stuff would pass as genuine unless you really go into it. I found a very specific like open source software that reads out data from the actual SSD controller. Like it tells you what NAND flash the controller thinks it's attached to, that level of data. Like it really pretty in depth, and it reports all as expected. So I'd be kind of surprised to find out that it wasn't just a China only drive that we just don't have access to otherwise. So yeah. The USA is forcing China to speed up their tech through blocks and tariffs. They are indeed. Yeah. It's funny how that happens. Yeah. Ish, you're gonna have to give us some context on your Arch and PewDiePie comment there. I wish India invested in some kind of silicon manufacturing. Our tech is stuck at 22 nanometer DUV. That too, not manufacturing ready. I don't blame you for feeling that way. 22 nanometer is still more advanced than like if you think about chip volume, the vast majority of chips that are sold are not are above 22 nanometer feature size or process node. So yeah, China can't get the latest lithography technology, which is what is putting the brakes in the development. Well, I guess they don't have any EUV machines, do they? They certainly don't have high NA, but then no one besides Intel does at the moment. Would that happen to be my video or context for the PewDiePie one? Hello, Essentialist. How you doing? How's things? The researchers directly poaches and used to copy Samsung and like 300 patents within a year. Fair. That's healthy. Alive enough. What about you? Yeah. 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 Getting through it. I had another infusion on Monday. Although I've been stabbed 5 times in the last 7 days. Um, Thrice in this arm and no, twice in this arm and thrice in this arm. That's a failed infusion site. And then I don't know. Oh yeah, no, there was three here. There was that one, then that one, then that one, and then those two. Okay. Health updates. I still have ulcerative colitis. I don't know if you were here for the last few, but I've found out that the cause of a lot of my pain is hypermobility spectrum disorder, which the fact that it's another spectrum and another disorder is just hilarious for me. But it means that like so that the standard test, as it were, is can you touch your thumb to your arm? But the fun one that I've discovered is that I can have my arm like fully upside down with my arm facing straight out. It's not really stretching. Like I might dislocate my shoulder if I go any harder, but I'm not really stretching anything here. Um, so yeah, yeah. Hypermobility. I also have like really hypermobile like lower back and hips, so like I can almost put my foot behind my head, and if I bend over at the waist, I can put both hands full flat on the floor without issue. Um, so yeah, hypermobility. Uh, yeah, I've had eye surgery on now both eyes. Um, they seem to be, well, making a good recovery and have not failed me since. So that's good. And yeah. But also, Jesus Christ, my back's been so sore. The collapsed, the dehydrated disc that I have in my back is not. Um, no, my lips are bright red because I rubbed the ever-loving shit, like all the skin off them, that like they were cracked, and now they're just really sore. I was actually just about to put some lip balm on, so bear with. Um, yeah, I get like fidgety, and one of the things that I end up doing is like rubbing my lips. So yeah. Also, like that camera, like the monitor above the camera does not look anywhere as saturated as this, so maybe the color correction that the Elgato is doing is a little off. That's just a little bluer. Oh god! Is that red enough for you? What about this one? That's still just really saturated, Jesus. I'm gonna stop playing with that before I break it. Whoops. Uh, my lips really hurt. uh, actually, what if we just do the stream like this? Oh, we've got to see the panels. So it's currently green at the top and pinky purple. Oh, we get a blue stripe. That's fun. Oh, that's funky. Ah. I like that the shadow that would be on my top is like okay. Oh, action movie. What does this mean? That's a lot less interesting than I was hoping for. Hearth? Okay, that's very yellow. Wintergreen. Mmm. Matrix. Heat map. Oh, oh. See? Even here my lips are red because they're burning. Cell shaded. I don't know, that's pretty cool actually. Hmm. Dramatic. Flashback. And we're back to inverted. Okay, I'm gonna stop fucking around with that now. Although that is remarkably fun. No Ghibli filters, no. Sadly not. That's the limit of what Streamlabs OBS can do on the fly. Well, at least with the red filter, your lips weren't out of place. Was that a Seagate branded bottle? It is. Yeah, yeah. Um, uh, that's not a sponsorship or anything. They sent this to me probably 5 years ago, and I've just been using it since because it's a really convenient bottle. Like the whole, you know. Um. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Hold on. There you go. Exactly. Adult sippy cup. I'm a child. Um. Good old Kodak negatives. Uh, sepia was an option, but I didn't fancy it. Old Olympus cameras had a mode where everything looked like it was sketched out. Well, that's pretty cool. I assume by old you mean post, uh, like post digital age still. Like 10 years old, not 30. 20 years old, not 30. Oh, and Mr. Headphone Enthusiast has some new headphones. Funny that. What was it? HD 650S? Was it? HD 560S. Yeah. For a pretty decent bargain. Nice. Just check that. Okay. Yeah, nice. Same drivers as the HC600, basically the same tuning, but without the price. I mean, fair enough. If it works. I still use my Odyssey LCD. Is it LCD ones? I think so. On my electric drum set because they sound great. Um, so yeah. Fair enough. Enjoy the pizza. First. LCD ones are something I want to get my hands on. I mean, they are fantastic. They're very they're so clean to the point that they are too clean for regular listening for me. They are for analytical listening, not for conventional listening, if that makes any amount of sense, which I'm sure it doesn't, but let's try. Yeah, LCD ones. They were £400 when I reviewed them 4 years ago. Uh, so yeah. I'm part of the like whatever it is, 30% of the population that if you see a bright light, um, it triggers you to sneeze. That's why I joke that I'm allergic to the sun. I'm allergic to the sun for many reasons. I'm Scottish, so I burn. I'm immunocompromised, so I burn, and I just burn. But also, the second that I step out the door and like bright sunlight hits my face, I sneeze at least twice, which is very funny. Um, I can't remember what percentage of the population that actually is, but yeah. Am I a vampire? That would honestly solve a lot of problems. um, so sadly not, but yeah. The sun causes cancer, darkness doesn't. Clear winner there, bud. I mean, it's got a set of headphones that come with its own amplifier. I think they're around 12 to 15k. First of all, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money. Second of all, Jesus Christ, I can't imagine having that much money and then spending it on a set of headphones. Third, I'm pretty sure those are Sennheisers, because I'm pretty sure it's like the Orpheus or something, or Morpheus, I don't know. They debuted them at CES, CEX, CES, what, yeah, years ago. Um, So yeah. Did I see the Veritasium video about Teflon? I haven't watched the Veritasium video in quite a long time, so I think the answer is no. I know a lot about Teflon, PTFE, and Forever Chemicals, so, but please do give me a brief synopsis. Orpheus, I was right, yeah! Um, of the video, so yeah. Some people pay that much for a car. Everyone has their own kink, hobby, job. True, true. I mean, to be fair, I did spend 16 grand on my car. And if you get the same, like, as much enjoyment as I get out of that, out of those headphones, fair enough. And what was I saying? Right, yes. No judgment, no shaming. Um, I think for a lot of people there are purchases that society has deemed somewhat required, depending on where you are. But a car purchase is something that's kind of highly preferred for a lot of cases, if not required, depending on where you are. America being the obvious example. And so spending a lot of money in on a car feels more easily justifiable than spending on what is essentially otherwise a luxury purchase, like a set of headphones. Um, but also a lot of the thing about like buying cars is that you're buying something that will still have some value when you come to sell it, unless you're me and you want to keep your car forever. So who cares about the value? Um, So yeah, but you could very much argue that those headphones are likely still worth quite a lot after you're done with them. So yeah, fair enough. As I said, I can't imagine it, but yeah. Jesus, that's a lot of money. Is that like a what do you call it? Like home cinema projector, I take it. Because like 80 grand sounds like that is a professional projector. um, you're spending 2 grand on your PC. It's considered an indulgence, but I justify it because it becomes my home server for the next 7 years. Yeah, fair enough. It's okay, Andy. I'm just cheap. Some cars go for a lot more, as you know, of course. You've seen that, done that, made the t-shirt. I've driven them and then shit myself driving down a hill. Because the brake fell away from my foot. It's about how the world got poisoned via Teflon, aka cancerous. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Um, I think the problem with like video essays for me is that it's really, really good to be informed about stuff, but also I just don't know how much more bad news I can take. Like, I'm already aware of how bad things are in a lot of areas, both directly, personally, and elsewhere. And learning about, I don't know, how, well, the video that YouTube recommended, I think from Climate Town, about how oil executives admitted to, uh, like, deliberately. My brain shut down, doing bad stuff. And it's like, I kind of know. I don't really need you to tell me for 20 minutes about how bad the oil companies are. Like, yes, we need their products, but also they went out of their way to make sure that we couldn't live without them. And if they wanted to be truly, sustainable and save us, they'd use the endless amounts of taxpayer like pounds and dollars we keep giving them to do some good. But anyway, yeah. Spending $1,200 on a whim um, for the pretty eye candy OLED TV went very poorly with my so took me 6 to 8 months to pay it off. Fair, yeah. I very much uh, I am very much opposed to debt for things that you cannot otherwise afford. Like debt from a like investment standpoint is actually a really like useful tool. Because if you can buy, as an example, a car, the car is going to depreciate in value. So if you take a loan for that, obviously the the thing that often happens is people get over leveraged and then you can't sell the car for the value of the loan. But if you have the money, you could either buy the car in cash or you could keep the cash, invest it, and you get more money than the interest on the car costs. That's a smart way to use your money. But for me, I've always been very diligent about never living above my means, basically, and never buying stuff that I can't afford. Um, I'm aware that that is a fairly sort of privileged position to be in, uh, and not everyone can do that. But it is something I would recommend where possible. Except for a mortgage. I was never going to afford 100% of a house outright. I got 40%, which I think is pretty damn good for a deposit, basically. But Yeah. Saying that, even then, I'm overpaying on the mortgage just to be able to make sure that the interest keeps going down nice and fast. It goes down by £1 a month, which I'm quite happy with. So each month, an extra pound of my monthly payment goes towards the value of the house, goes towards me basically, rather than towards interest. Yeah, there's some definitely not legal financial advice, but just an idiot on the internet giving you some hopefully helpful suggestions. Um, it's a professional projector that you could use outside in sunlight and still see the picture. Jesus Christ, why? You could, but the neighbors would complain. And on the side of your shop in town, not the best place to be watching that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dear. So before we head off, anyone up to anything interesting in this coming week or weekend? I had the money, inherited two apartments. I was paying for my grandmother's medical bills. I was overstretched, but I saw a great deal on an LGC2. Fair enough. No problem. I'm just imparting my small amount of wisdom that I have. The taxman had different plans. Fair enough. Actually, that reminds me, I need to pay my tax soon. I do my self-assessment pretty early every year, but that means that you pay in July and then January, or you pay by July and by January. And I still need to pay last year's by July, which is by now, basically. So, yeah. I'll get around to it. I just need to remember and then put money in the account. I bought my house no loan. Damn. Ah, to be wealthy. Maybe one day. I mean, according to the like valuation of this house, I think we now own 50% of it, so because the value's gone up, so quite pleased with that. Um, I didn't realize the taxes on those apartments and utilities were not paid for a while, so unexpected fines. Ah, less ideal. There was no break for the fact that you inherited them. Worked 3 jobs to save for over 12 years. Nice. That is no mean feat. And nope. Fair. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Hope you all stay safe. Hope you all have fun. And yeah, I'll see you all next Thursday for True. Right. I'll catch you all next week. And video Monday and Friday. Hello, Jim. Bye, Jim.